What if death could only happen during sleep? Imagine a world where no one dies awake. Every death on Earth occurs only during sleep, regardless of age, health, or circumstance. And within hours, panic begins. People realize something terrifying. The most dangerous place is now their own bed. Hospitals are overwhelmed, not with injuries, but with insomnia. Pharmacies run out of stimulants. Entire cities stay awake for days. Because if death can only come in sleep, then staying awake feels like staying alive, at least for now. Scientists rush to analyze the pattern. They confirm the rule quickly. No one dies while conscious, even in situations that should be instantly fatal. Car crashes occur. People survive with impossible injuries. Planes make catastrophic landings. Passengers remain alive. Hearts stop and then restart, until the person falls asleep. Then they die, not from trauma, but from sleep failure. Sleep becomes the final trigger. Researchers discover something even stranger. Brain scans show that moments before sleep, in those whose date is near, neural patterns change dramatically. Not like disease, not like shutdown, like a switch being acknowledged, as if the brain receives confirmation, permission. And this is where fear mutates into strategy. People try microsleeping, seconds at a time. They set alarms every 2 minutes. Entire communities invent rotating wake schedules. Families watch each other through the night. Sleep becomes supervised. But results remain unchanged. If it is your night, even a blink is enough. Governments issue guidelines, monitored rest centers. The idea is simple. Detect dangerous sleep onset. Wake the person instantly. It works. For a while. Then failures begin. People die sitting upright. People die mid-sentence. People die during monitored REM interruption. Because the body learns. It enters sleep in fragments too small to detect. The system adapts. Scientists cautiously propose a theory. Sleep is not the cause. Sleep is the doorway. Death is scheduled. Sleep is merely the allowed entrance. Society restructures around darkness. Night shifts become the highest-paid jobs on Earth. Cities move business hours to midnight. Sunrise becomes risk hour. Children are trained to delay sleep. Schools teach alertness control. Dream suppression techniques appear. And yet statistics remain perfectly stable. No one dies during the day, but the same number die each night. Which leads to the next disturbing discovery. Dream reports collected before death show repeating themes. Doors, stations, crossings, announcements, same symbols. Neuroscientists try to explain it as archetypes, pattern memory, stress hallucination. But the consistency is too precise. Then comes the controlled experiment. Volunteers with terminal diagnoses are kept awake under continuous stimulation. Light, sound, conversation, movement. For 11 days, no sleep. The body deteriorates. Organs destabilize. Cognition collapses, but they do not die. Death is not biological failure. Biology only prepares the conditions. Sleep authorizes the exit. Philosophers call it the end of material fatalism. Consciousness, not damage, closes the circuit. And a new fear appears, deeper than death itself. What if sleep is not shut down, but transfer? People begin trying to control dreams. Lucid dreaming explodes worldwide. If I can stay aware, I can't die, they believe. But lucid dreamers still die. Awareness inside the dream does not count as being awake, because the body, not the mind, crossed the line. Insurance companies rewrite definitions of risk. Bedrooms become regulated spaces. Sleep pods replace beds. Yet one pattern never breaks. Those whose time has not come always wake up. Eventually, panic fades. Humanity accepts a new truth. You do not die from events. You do not die from damage. You die from permission to disconnect. And sleep is where permission is processed. This changes how people say goodnight. It is no longer casual. It becomes ceremonial. Messages are sent. Conflicts resolved before bed. Love confessed earlier. Because every sleep is now a question mark. And strangely, gratitude increases. People stop postponing words, stop delaying decisions, stop saving life for later. Because later begins after sleep, and sleep is no longer guaranteed. In the end, one conclusion becomes almost universal. Death did not move into sleep. Sleep was always its closest neighbor. We just never noticed the door. So the real question is no longer, when will you die, but something quieter, more intimate. When you close your eyes tonight, are you ending a day or completing a life? But then a final anomaly appears. Sleep labs begin recording the last nights of thousands of people, not just brainwaves, everything. Hormones, micro-movements, skin conductivity, neural noise. They expect chaos. Instead, they find order. In the final sleep, signals stabilize, variability drops, the brain stops searching, as if uncertainty disappears. Normally, even deep sleep is unstable. The mind keeps adjusting, predicting, correcting. But in the last sleep, prediction turns off. Not damaged, completed. Like a calculation that reached its answer. This leads to a radical hypothesis. Death is not triggered in sleep. Sleep is when resistance stops. While awake, the organism constantly fights to remain, corrects errors, compensates, adapts. But in sleep, control is temporarily surrendered, and only then can the final state execute. Engineers compare it to software updates. They only install when the system is idle. Consciousness, they suggest, is active mode. Sleep is maintenance mode. And death is the last update. Irreversible, silent, scheduled. This idea changes behavior again. People stop trying to avoid sleep and start preparing for it. Last night protocols appear. Letters written in advance, memory capsules recorded, final messages auto-sent if no wake signal is detected. Not from fear, but from acceptance. A cultural shift follows. Morning greetings become celebrations, not routine. Waking up is treated as a small victory, proof of extension. Some philosophers push the idea further. If death only arrives when you release control, then life is defined by participation, by engagement, attention, presence. To live is to remain in active mode, not busy, awake. And suddenly, the metaphor becomes uncomfortable. How many people were already asleep while walking, on autopilot, emotionally absent, mechanically repeating days? Statistics reveal something symbolic but powerful. Those who report high meaning in life show longer deep sleep resistance phases, even when their biological condition is identical. Not immortality, but delay, as if purpose increases signal strength. No one can prove causation, but the correlation refuses to disappear. In the end, the global conclusion is not scientific, but practical. You cannot defeat the final sleep, but you can influence the waking hours before it. Not their number, their density. People stop asking how to extend life. They start asking how to increase wakefulness inside it. More attention, more honesty, more risk, more presence. Because every night is now understood clearly. You are not just going to rest. You are temporarily handing reality back. And when you wake up, reality hands it to you again, if your session is not finished. Death does not hunt you in motion. It waits for your pause. Which means while you are awake, truly awake, you are not just alive. You are actively being chosen to continue. Subscribe if you like this video, and give me your thoughts in the comments.